Good morning. Today we will discuss clinical examination of the gastrointestinal tract GIT system. In that, different headings. First, introduction. In the introduction part, why we are going to examine the GIT system? Because there are different diseases, different complaints. The patient come in the hospital with different complaints related to the GIT. For example, like vomiting, constipation, GI bleeding, hematopoiesis, uh, ulcers. There are so many complaints which are related to the GIT. So we are going to examine the GIT. For example, jaundice, like that. Then anatomical landmarks is very important. Uh, Abdomen is divided into the 9 quadrant by 4 lines, 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines. Upper horizontal lines passes from lower margin of the costal cartilage or ribs, and lower line passes or connect the two iliac crest, and 2 vertical lines. First line passes by the mid clavicle to the mid inguinal. Second line passes via similar mid clavicle to the mid inguinal region. So there are 9 quadrants. First, second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First is called as right hypochondrium. Second is called as epigastrium. Third is called as left hypochondrium. Fourth is called as right lumbar. Fifth is called as umbilical. Sixth is called as left lumbar. Seventh is called as right iliac. Eighth is called as suprapubic or hypogastrian, and last one, ninth, is called as left iliac region. Like that, there are 9 quadrants on the abdomen. Then we are going to examine the GIT in 4 headings: inspection, palpation, percussion, auscultation. In the inspection, first one is shape. We will examine shape of the abdomen. Normally, in healthy subject, it is flat in shape. It is distributed in obesities, excessive deposition of the fat, constipation, pregnancy, and it is sunken or scaffold shape in the malnutrition. Then umbilicus, normally in healthy subject, it is inverted, while in obese patient it is everted, or ascetic patient it is everted. Then movement of the abdomen, normally in the male it is abdominothoracic, and female it is thoraco-abdominal. There is movement of the abdomen with the help of with the respiration. So movement of the abdomen. Pulsation, normally in the epigastric region there is pulsation. Aortic pulsation are there in the epigastric region. Then veins, normally there is no distended vein on the abdomen, but in like portal hypertension there is distended veins around the umbilicus. Then scar, there is previous operation on the abdomen, like operation for hernia, operation for like liver, kidney, any diseases. There is old scar on the abdomen. Hernial sites, right inguinal region and left inguinal region, along with umbilical region. If there is swelling around the umbilicus, right inguinal or left inguinal, there is hernia. You should look for if there is hernia or not. Peristalsis is normally not seen externally, but the patient is very thin and there is obstruction in the GI tract, then you can see a peristaltic waves on the abdomen. So these are the different points come under the inspection. Then comes to the palpation. We have to palpate liver, spleen, kidney, 3 organs in the palpation. I will give demonstration later on. Percussion, again 3 things: shifting dullness, horseshoe shaped dullness, and third one is the fluid thing. So the 3 things we are going to examine under the percussion. And auscultation, we have to auscultate the abdomen for vowel sound, which is also called as barborhythmic sound. So palpation, percussion, auscultation, I will give demonstration on the subject. So abdomen, 9 quadrant, right hypochondrium, epigastric, left hypochondrium, right lumbar, umbilicus, left lumbar, right iliac, suprapubic or hypogastrium, left iliac. In the abdomen, like liver is located in the right hypochondrial region, spleen is located in the left hypochondrial region, while kidneys are located retroperitoneally in the lumbar region. Then, first thing, palpation of the liver. Always ask the patient to flex the knee joint. Because of flexion of the knee joint, there is relaxation of the abdominal muscles. And ask the patient to take a breathing. First, for palpation of the liver, you start palpation from right iliac region, goes upward toward the right hypochondrial region. Along with the respiration, mama श्वास घ्या. साधा साधा घ्या आणि सोडा. Start palpating from right iliac region, goes toward the right hypochondriac region. Lower border of the liver located along the costal margin. If liver is enlarged, then you can palpate the liver with the help of radial border of the index finger. Normally liver is not palpated. If it is enlarged, like in the Kala-Azar, malaria, hepatitis diseases, then only it is palpable. Normally it is not palpable. So main thing is start palpating from right iliac region, go upward toward the right hypochondriac region. Pause. Now second thing, palpation of the spleen. You have to put your right hand in the right iliac region, left hand on the left side of the chest. Start palpating from right iliac region, goes palpating toward the left hypochondrium because spleen is located in the left hypochondrium. So start palpating with respiration. श्वास घ्या आणि सोडा. बरोबर घ्या आणि सोडा. घ्या आणि सोडा. So in this way, from right iliac region goes toward the left hypochondrium because spleen is if spleen is enlarged, it is enlarged in this direction. So it goes from left hypochondrium toward the right iliac region if it is enlarged. So you have to palpate from right iliac to the left hypochondriac region. Again, normally spleen is not palpable. It is only palpated if it is enlarged 2 times than the normal size. Again, spleen is enlarged like Kala-Azar disease, malaria disease, different types of leukemia. In that condition, spleen is only palpable. Otherwise, normally in healthy subject it is not palpable. So we are asking the patient to take a deep breath because with the movement of the respiration or during inspiration, the organ little bit descend downward. Then it is easy to feel the organ with the help of finger during deep inspiration. So during this deep inspiration, organ is little bit moves downward. Third thing is palpation of the kidneys. So first, for palpation of the right kidney, you have to put your left hand below the right flank and right hand on the right lumbar region. Again, ask the patient to take a deep breathing, and start palpating in the right lumbar region. Again, so this is called as bimanual method of kidney palpation. So left hand below the right flank, right hand on the right lumbar region, and start palpating with the respiration. Normally, kidney is not palpable. For palpation of the left kidney, same thing, you have to put your left hand below the left flank and palpate the kidney with right hand in the left lumbar region with the respiration, deep inspiration. So again, normally kidneys are not palpable in healthy subject. If subject is very thin, catching sick patient, in that condition only kidneys are palpated. Now percussion. In the percussion there are 3 things: shifting dullness, horseshoe shaped dullness and fluid thrill. These are the 3 examinations done to detect any pathology in the abdomen. For example, accumulation of the fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which is called as ascites. In the ascites, we are going to examine the shifting dullness. So normally in the abdomen, intestine. In the intestine there is air. Because of that air, there is tympanic note on the abdomen. So when you percuss the abdomen, you will get a tympanic note. So this is the tympanic note. Because of some amount of air in the intestine, and intestines are hollow organs. If the fluid is present in the peritoneal cavity, this tympanic note is converted into the dull note. Clear? So first, shifting dullness. First palpate the abdomen, you will get a tympanic note. Then ask the patient to sit on other side. Again palpate the same side.
Percuss.
So initially you will get dull note in the right flank. If there is fluid in the right flank, because of the gravity, fluid goes down, which is accumulated in the right and left flank, while intestine is float on the fluid. So near the umbilical region you will get a tympanic note, while in the right and left flank you will get a dull note if there is a fluid. When you ask the patient to sit on other side, the dull note is converted into the tympanic note, because whatever the fluid is accumulated in the right flank, which goes into the left flank because of the gravity. So dull note is converted into the tympanic note in case of ascites. So this is called as shifting dullness, which is present in the ascites. Similarly, you have to do shifting dullness on the opposite side. Now second thing, horseshoe shaped dullness. So again, in the ascites, if there is fluid in the peritoneal cavity, you will get a horseshoe shaped dullness. Means dullness in the shape of horseshoes. So if there is fluid accumulated in the right flank region, hypochondriac region or suprapubic region, and left flank region, and intestines float on the fluid. So intestines are around the umbilicus and epigastric region. So in the horseshoe shaped dullness, you will get tympanic note around the umbilicus and epigastric region, while you will get dull note in the right lumbar, right iliac, hypogastrium, left iliac, left lumbar. So in this way, you will get a dull note. So it is called as horseshoe shaped dullness. Now last point under the percussion, fluid thrill. Again this is the examination done if there is fluid in the peritoneal cavity like in the ascites. So fluid thrill, in that you have to ask the patient to keep ulnar border on the abdomen like this, and you have to keep your left hand opposite side and give a gentle tap on the right side. So if there is fluid, the wave of vibration passes via fluid to the other side, and you will feel the vibration with the help of left hand. So keep your left hand in the left lumbar region or left flank and just tap on the right side. You will get a vibration on the left side because of the wave of vibration passes via the fluid. You have to ask keep left hand of the subject on the middle of the abdomen, because whatever the wave of vibration passes via the skin, which is prevented by the ulnar border of the subject hand. So you have to prevent the vibration passes via the skin. Only allowed vibration passes via the fluid, which is present in the peritoneal cavity. So this is about the fluid thrill. Lastly, auscultation of the abdomen. Last point, you have to auscultate the bowel sound in the abdomen. Normally, the rate of sound is very slow in the abdomen. For that, you require a stethoscope. You auscultate the bowel sound on different region of the abdomen. Right lumbar, hypogastrium, left lumbar, epigastric region, like that. On different side of the abdomen, you have to auscultate the bowel sound. Normally, if there is intestinal obstruction, there is increased frequency or increased number of bowel sound. And in opposite condition, if there is paralytic ileus, means paralysis of the intestine. In that condition, there is complete absence of bowel sounds. Another name of the bowel sound is barborhythmic sound. So in this way, we will discuss about clinical examination of the gastrointestinal tract. Thank you.